Hello, YouTubers, activists, subscribers, friends, or just people browsing. This is part two of the training day because the friend, which I thought was a friend, I hope still is a friend, feels that I was misleading. Alright, so this is part two. Where did I take off? Well, let me just start saying I got took the Greyhound to Cincinnati, Ohio. We went to get something to eat, and then we went to his house. We tried some breakfast when we got something to eat, and we were constantly talking. He was talking, we were having like InfoWar, and sometimes he didn't know what I was talking about. And so we got to his house, and constantly talking of how to stand, how to operate a unit, what every member in that unit does, what they're supposed to do in that order of the unit, basic hand signs, coming up with new hand signs that only my team knows, my unit knows. But also, he was also telling me, and this is a veteran, 6-year veteran, I still have respect for him, of how to be a leader, what to look for, who to look for to find leaders. Well, we got to his house, and or to the property that he was renting, and there was this, we were constantly talking. He'd sometimes show me some stuff, how to stand, how to walk. Occasionally we went to his friends, and his brother's house. He had many brothers. One of my favorites is he likes he's a bow. He's a bowman. He knows how to shoot a compound bow. right up, right by the eyesight, let go, and guerrilla warfare tactics, because guerrilla warfare originated in Kentucky. And people are nice there. Everyone waving at each other when they went by, or nodding and waving. That was great. His one brother that we were talking to one night. Good guy. All good people, man. Even Tim. I mean, yeah, I was a little skeptic because I don't know if that's my own paranoia or I just, because first when we got back from the breakfast and we got to his place, he said, he looked at me real seriously. I ever think you're a Fed, I'm going to kill you. So I thought we were going to spend years together, travel the country, go out, meet up with other militia units and militia groups, constitutionalists. And then I was going to re-see the country. You know, I went through the country and seen the country when I was a kid, going from state to state. But this time, it's going to be different. I thought we were going to start the revolution, be a part of the revolution, you know, take back this country and put the politicians and the offshore bankers in FEMA camps. But not hurt anybody, not damage any private property or violate anyone's human rights. And we're constantly talking about his connection or his involvement, not in his involvement, but his experience with people that were feds and oh, and I believe him. You know, that's what I've heard from other people. Yeah, grenades and rifles. You know, hey, you want to get some grenades and rifles. Um, so, and we were talking about other YouTubers that we both know, and it was going great. And his one brother that played played online poker. You know, I talked to him. It was, you know, good guy, good people, and I miss Kentucky. I miss the people of Kentucky. But just all around out good people. You know, maybe a little gun happy. That's okay. Maybe a little, you know, maybe a little hot-headed with the gun. You know, maybe showing a dog a gun, you know, like it's gonna scare him off or something. But you know, he did at one time. Not around me, but in the past, because the dog was killing his chickens. So I understand that to a point. But that's good. It was all good. Um, his brothers, I met his brothers, some of them, but my favorite was the one that came over with a little twig. He talked like that. He had the Crown Royal and did the computer poker and talked about shooting it right and hearing that noise. But really good guy. I miss the dude. I could have talked to that guy forever. But we were gonna take off, and I had many objectives um, that I wanted to achieve, and that he wanted to achieve. But I wasn't too sure on some of them. But he wasn't too sure on some of mine either, and it's all good. Um, one of the objectives was to learn how to hunt. I mean, I know how to hunt, but do it tracking and trapping and using the fist and that to be a measurer and wide open hands to be a measurer for a certain trap for animals. It was constantly raining. Um, some days were nice, and I thought we were going to go out in the back of where he lived because it was just rolling hills and lots of forest and everything. I thought that was what we were going to do. We were going to go out there and hunt and excuse me, trap and but we couldn't do a lot of that. I couldn't even catch a rat with the rat traps that I had with, you know, because it wasn't seasoned for what I was going to be catching. Even Paul, aka Doc, the military veteran that was on a leave from 10 years of airborne, he had a conibears, and he couldn't even use those. You couldn't track. All you could do is fish, catch animals from the water. I don't even think you could catch a beaver. And that beaver came off with my fishing pole. I still believe he's somewhere in Kentucky. Little beaver, or he's a big beaver. Well, he's probably big because now he can get lots of fish. But and I still I've had respect. I know one comment I know I've gotten lots of comments. I haven't been able to read them yet, but I have respect for our troops that are over there. Real respect. Even though I don't support these wars and these false flag wars over oil and drugs and CIA drugs and land for offshore bankers but and we did some info war, you know, and he'd show me something and I would tell him something that he said he didn't know. So it was, it was all good. I mean, most of it was all good. I mean, I don't got a problem with it, but and I had to be left out there alone. So don't think that Tim, aka White Coyote 65, was left me out there, and I was unwilling. I wanted to stay out there. I still had the year membership, fishing and all that. So, and I was satisfied with what I learned on how to be a leader. I was satisfied with how to conduct a unit. God forbid if I have to hit a unit, I was satisfied with what I was told about hitting a unit. We didn't do any war games. I just want to repeat that. And camping and trapping and all that, we couldn't do that. There was no season for it. We'd get arrested, and I would be going back to Kentucky for court. But and I was kind of wanting to stay out there for a year, but my feet got swollen right up underneath these two toes. Like if this was my toe and this is my thumb and all that, and it damaged my feet. And I did get a little jungle rot, and I couldn't walk. But that was my fault. So I did fail out there, but there were some objectives that I reached, and I was happy and satisfied with the outcome. But I did fail out there. I didn't complete every objective that I wanted to. So I just don't want to be misleading to anybody, even to him. I still got respect for him, his family, his mother, his father, his brothers that I've met, and Puppy Dog. I kind of miss that Puppy Dog. He's a cool little Rottweiler. But that's so. I kind of failed. I failed out there. I didn't meet every objective. I had some things that kind of bothered me, and so I left. But I tell you what didn't fail me. God, God didn't fail me. There was times that he was answering prayers, and he was answering prayers within seconds. Things was happening. I don't want to go too much into that, because that's between me and him, me and God, Yahweh, Christ with us, Yeshua, and I would even say Allah. Then there's another name that God told Moses when Moses says, "What name do I say to the people that were out in the desert?" So let me just end this up really quick. I did not achieve every objective, and in some objectives I felt I failed. But I did learn how to control a unit, to conduct a unit with most efficiencies from a military man. And another thing, militias don't need to be trained by the military to be considered militia. As long as it's a well-regulated militia. Now, I ain't going to get out my Constitution, but if you don't believe me, look it up. And militias were longer than the military-industrial complex. I failed myself, and a few more than one way. I failed myself, but God did not fail me once. Peace, Victory Garden Militia, V for Victory. I still would like to go back out there and try it again. Maybe I'll bring my Baby-Ruth.